So I'm just out watering the apiary this morning, and I come across looks like a diamondback, and I'm gonna try to get in a little close on it. I've got 36 minutes on the video, so I'm gonna try to get in close enough so that I don't get, it's right there, right in there. So I'm gonna try to get closer in on it. See if I get a little rattle out of it. Yeah, see it? Beautiful. Not quite sure what type it is, but I want to get within striking range. Gotta move a little bit. Come on. Come on. See it? Come on. Boy, it's like it's right in there in that rock, and with the sun glaring out, it's really weird. It's beautiful, man. Very beautiful. That's her head. Right there. It's kind of cold when they're, where is she at? Okay, there she is. When they're hot, very, very active. I wouldn't even be able to touch her. As you can see, she's allowing me to kind of touch her a little bit. But now she's getting irritated, so I'm going to step back a little bit more because of the coil. I'm trying to see her head again. It's right there. She's getting ready to creep off into the sun. There we go. If I can get her to go off into the sun a little bit, that'll be cool. Everybody can see her more. So it's cool right now. And not quite ready to sunbathe, but over here in this area, as far as this part of the apiary is concerned, it's out by a fire pit. But in the mornings, I notice how there are various types of squirrel. I saw some ground squirrel and so forth. They come over into this area by the wood pile. So she's probably looking for squirrel and so forth. Beautiful animal. Look how long she is. About 3 feet. About 3 feet. Let's see where she goes. Yeah, she's going up inside the wood pile. Pause. Pause it for a minute. Okay. There we go. So she tried to crawl up inside of the wood pile here. Try not to get too close because I don't feel like getting struck. As you can see here, I'm trying to keep this thing. She's coiled up about a good foot right in there. And of course, I got my machete, right? So of course, I got my machete. And the machete is around about 18 inches. So she'd have to really strike out pretty good to get to me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to start the coil. Where is she? There she is. I'm trying to get her out of here. She's digging in more. Beautiful animal. Look at her. Trying to find that spot. She's trying to find that sweet spot. Let me pause this and I'm gonna go and get a pair of coils, pull her out, and put her in a safer place. Stand by. Next one, Malcolm Yo. Okay, back at it. I couldn't find my clamps, so basically what you want to do is you want to find a stick. It's got some curvature on it and a little bit of where you can hold the head down, right? Back in Carolina, I used to spend a lot of time at the lake because I didn't like my household environment. I mean, hours every day at the lake, and there was a lot of water moccasins. And so with water moccasins, it's a little bit different because water moccasins will definitely chase you. You know, definitely chase you. They don't have a problem with. I think they'll chase you up to 1.5 miles. A water moccasin will. You know, if they really pissed off about some shit. Couple more pieces of wood. I'm gonna pull over to the side, and of course everything falls all over the place. There we go. Try to get her to move on out of here. Try to get her to move on out of here. Nah, she's getting mad. Nah, she's getting mad at me. Not sure where she went. Let me pause this. All right, she went behind a very, very big rock that I can't get behind. She went down in that area. And no matter what angle I try to get at it, up under this rock, I can't get to her. But it's the life of the apiary. Just try not to get bit just from watering God's garden, so to speak. But that's it. Another thing I wanted to show you guys that's interesting is, crow's feather, I'm sorry, raven feather. So I'll be keeping a holding on it just for a second for my shaman stuff. But if you look in the background, I'm hoping you guys can see this. That is looking to the west. That's San Diego. Looking to the west, that's the Pacific Ocean. The mountains moving towards the Pacific Ocean. But if you guys can really see it, especially over towards this way, look at the mountain range. And what you think are clouds is actually smog, dust, smoke. And I'm at a very high elevation here. Very high elevation. See? So a lot of times when I wake up in the mornings, if you kind of see out in the valley, I can't see any of that in the morning because of the cloud cover. So it's almost as if I can get up in the mornings, I see the cloud cover, and then walk right off of a cliff and step onto a cloud and walk out into what is, the area of San Diego, the territory where San Diego lies, right? So that's how high up in the elevation it is. So a lot of the smog, based off the wind coming in off of the Pacific Ocean, pushes up over the mountain range, but it doesn't go over it. It goes through it. It goes through these little small valleys and stuff that you see here, right? You can really see it over here in the distance. I don't know if you guys can see that, but in the distance over here, you can really see the smog, right? In between the valleys. I want to make sure that part is clear. Another thing is, there was a study that was done, and this is what's really, really important. This is what's really important. There was a study done in regards to pollution, right? So diesel fuels is what's used in manufacturing. I'm not sitting up here trying to demonize diesel fuel and all this and fossil fuel usage and all that. I'm not trying to do that at all. What's being brought to my attention is, as I've done my studies in the area of botanicals and studying the apis, or the bees, the honeybees and so forth, and how there's a colony collapse, and oh yeah, we're having trouble with global climate change. It's like, y'all ain't changing. The earth gonna change like the fuck it's supposed to. We need to catch up. When we catch up, we'll pay attention to the amount of the amount of energy that it takes to make a particular product. Anything you go to your refrigerator, if you open up a box of something, then that's adding to this smog. If we don't add on the filters that's necessary in our manufacturing plants and so forth, and make sure we keep those things inspected so that this does not continue to happen. We're talking about we're talking about mega size manufacturers that people aren't even privy to, but they know that they get their food out of it, right? The diesel fuel that's used in manufacturing to create the products that we want creates a sort of pollution. That pollution, a lot of times people will say, how does that affect us? How does that pollution affect us? Let me check my camera. Okay, good. I got another 20 minutes. All this came from a snake, right? All this came from seeing a sunbathing snake. Pollution, diesel fuels, and the usage of diesel fuels. How does that affect us in our daily life? In my studies, I came across a report that was given to the United Nations. It's like the United Global Council of, the World Development, some shit like that, right? But in it, there was a study, a case study that was given by, Oxford and Cambridge, right? They gave this report, and they said in this report, I read this shit, I got it on my computer, so I'll give it to you as a reference point later on. It mentioned ragweed as, hey, how do we solve our pharmaceutical problem with our humans who are having allergic reactions during this time of year? It's almost crazy, right? Daily living. We all have allergies of some sort. So this is where the daily living part comes in. If you got up in the morning and you knew you had to take your Benadryl because they said, oh, ragweed is high today. It's not the ragweed that's causing it, and the Benadryl ain't stopping a damn thing. It's just suppressing the symptoms so that it suppresses the body so you don't feel the symptoms. But the ragweed is still in your system, right? Let's look at it from a different perspective based off of the case study that was given. Not only a case study, but a report. This is a world report I'm trying to tell you about, right? Most of y'all motherfuckers ain't gonna listen, and it's all right, you know what I'm saying? And if I talk like that, that's because that's for those who ain't listening. Now, I'm passionate about what I do, so it's gonna come out that way at times, all right? Diesel fuel, in this report, it says that it said that ragweed is not the cause of allergens. It is the ragweed pollen released into the atmosphere alongside manufacturing that uses diesel. When those pollutants go into the air, it connects directly like ions in an atom. You know what I'm saying? Like covalent sharing and all that type of stuff is going on in the atmosphere. We don't see it. Those two particles, ragweed and diesel fuel pollutants, combine, connect, whatever the scientific term is for that, that's what happens. Now, when we smell that or it gets into our system, it is the diesel fuel pollutant or fume on the ragweed on the ragweed pollen, I should say that, on the ragweed pollen. Those two, that combination is what causes the allergy symptoms to be what they are. And I'm gonna try to take this no more than 15 minutes because most people don't listen to this shit. All right, because I ain't bouncing up and down and I'm not shooting a bowling ball out of my ass. Like, oh yeah, he's talented, right? Listen to what I'm saying here, okay? Ragweed pollen alongside diesel fuel pollutants combining in the atmosphere, falling. I mean, this stuff falls down after a while. I don't know if you can see this stuff, but it falls to the ground. And it falls on top of, let me show you here. I ain't trying to get too far into it. I'm going to show you a real nice, pretty plant here, right? So this is ancient sage. This is ancient sage right here. Ancient sage. So it's like it's been here forever, as long as the earth's been here. All right, I got plenty of hummingbirds out here who eat off of it. But this is ancient sage, right? So what happens is those pollutants fall on these flowers, right? That feeds the hummingbirds that are out here. The more I feed these flowers, the more hummingbirds that actually, come about. This is sage, right? So when that pollen falls upon when that combination of diesel pollution attached to ragweed, and when I look out here on the mountain, ain't nothing but ragweed. Ragweed grows over top of everything. It's just nature's way of saying, all right, we'll preserve the ground. Nothing else can grow here except ragweed. It has its benefits. It preserves the ground. It really does. But it has to be torn out and then it has to be torn out just to allow other plants to grow because it's so invasive. But to get back to the allergy issue, if everybody pays attention enough, I'm not saying that we should not have diesel fuels as part of our, daily life. But how the method in which we utilize it has to be not restricted, but it has to be all-consuming, where 1% of the fuel is left. Just 1%. You see what I'm saying? That's just called efficiency. It's called efficiency when you can have an incinerator, and if you have an open fire pit and you throw some logs in it, you have leftover logs and some ashes and some coals and all that type of stuff. But if you place that log inside of an incinerator, turn the heat and burn it to a point on its own, it'll burn on its own at a high degree where there's no more. But you could take a 300-pound log, nothing but wood, burn that, and pull out 3 pounds of ashes from 300-pound log. 3 pounds of ashes. That's efficiency. So if we can learn to do that using fossil fuels on the planet, then it will prevent a lot of this from happening. A lot of it. So I'm just gonna kind of leave it at that. I'm gonna try to find a particular time when the hummingbirds are kind of close by to me, especially when I'm watering up here. They love the water because it's not much up here. It's kind of arid, mountainous, a lot of wind, and they get very thirsty, and nothing really grows unless it has enough water, right? So, in a nutshell, this is Malcolm Young, Peace and One. Just be mindful that when you have your allergies, and especially if you're in an open city, pay attention to how much pollution is going on. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay to sponsor that, yourself. And that's just by planting some shit in your yard. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying go to Home Depot. I'm talking about go to the grocery store and just get some beans. You know what I'm saying? And just plant them somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And that's enough to help Earth do what she needs to do. We're here for a reason. So anyway, this is Malcolm Young. Peace and One.